it all comes back to like, I really want to create more opportunities for people. And I want to not only create opportunities for people to get into real estate, those people thinking about, hey, how am I going to make the transition into real estate? But once you're in real estate, really have more success while you're there.
Hello and welcome to episode 85 of the Smart Agents Podcast. My name is Michael Walter and I'll be your host. In today's episode, we are joined by Rachel White, founder of Unlockdbox. After struggling to find ways to balance family life with that of a real estate agent in Los Angeles, Rachel set out to create a way to do just that, take back control while still giving her clients the best possible service. The result of her hard work was not just an app, but an entire ecosystem designed for helping hardworking real estate professionals. Now, before we get on to the day's featured interview, make sure to subscribe to the Smart Agents Podcast. You can find the show on all major podcasting platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and now Amazon Music. Also, if you or someone else on your team has an awesome story to share, send us a message at feedback@smartagents.com. We're always on the lookout for new stories to share. All right, let's get on to the day's featured interview with Rachel White. In the episode description, you'll find links to download Unlockdbox and much more. Really, the way I like to start everything out is if you could introduce yourself to us a little bit, tell us where you're at in the country and kind of your real estate background.
Yeah, so my name's Rachel White, and I'm outside of Los Angeles in California. I was a licensed real estate agent for about 4 years before the pandemic. So I got licensed in 2016, and it's kind of a funny story of how I got into real estate. My background is in restaurant management, and my mother-in-law wanted to become a real estate agent. She was licensed in Utah, wanted to get licensed when she moved out here to California. And so we got licensed at the same time, and we became the mother and daughter-in-law team, which we really played up, because there's a lot of like tension between in-laws, and we're very fortunate to get along very well and enter into real estate together. And so that's, my origin stories of getting licensed. And I was juggling both careers, trying to, transition into real estate full time, still have the security of my restaurant management job. And it proved to be a little bit difficult, especially in that market right before the pandemic. So that's where and how I got started in the industry.
Right. And I imagine with the restaurant, background, just having those people-to-people skills is definitely something that you were able to translate over very easily.
Oh yeah, there's so much. I grew up in this was a family-owned restaurant, so I grew up from learning everything about the business, the financial side, every aspect that you can think of. I really was fortunate to be able to learn, and so much of that translated over into real estate. The different personalities that you have to deal with on a daily, the customer service, the pivoting, the organizational skills. And then, being a manager as well, you're not only managing the people, you're managing your employees. And so that really translated over, pretty seamlessly. It's a different industry, but a lot of the same types of approach from like the restaurant career to real estate.
And, and then also, outside of actually starting your real estate career, you developed a whole, app and kind of other, product out there. Tell me a little bit about, what you've been working on.
Yeah. So, it requires a little bit of backstory into like the history of real estate. So I was trying to juggle both careers, that many agents are in the same boat as that. It's really difficult, to just jump straight into a commission-only business. And I'm a type of person who likes to have security. So I'm a risk taker, but I also like to have, some sort of security. And so I was juggling both, hosting open houses for other agents, meeting buyers, showing them homes, just like the nitty-gritty of what it means to be a real estate agent. And so I had a client, so in Los Angeles, there's traffic, just like any other major city. And I had a client who wanted to see a home about an hour away that was without traffic. And he was actually a referral to me. And so I didn't want to refer him out again. I really wanted to retain him as a client. I was still, trying to like build my pipeline, and I didn't want to refer them out. And so I would have to juggle my schedule. I'd have to, I have 2 kids as well. So like I wanted to make their basketball games and meet my clients' needs. And I was just doing a lot, which is like the reality for a lot of agents. They're trying to juggle multiple things so that they can be like on demand for their clients. And so, he just wanted to see a lot of homes, and we did our best to get him into as many homes as possible. And one day I came home and my kids were sleeping, and I just kind of had this existential like moment of, I feel like I'm doing everything in my power to really, be successful at this real estate thing. And there weren't a lot of systems or technology set up for me to be able to do what I needed to do like on a daily level in the way in which I needed it. And so I'm the type of person that when an idea sinks its teeth into my brain, I can't let it go. I spent hours just scribbling it out in notebooks, and just like I had to formulate it in my mind. The background in restaurant management is like controlling chaos, and I had to make sense of it. And so it was the same type of thing here, where I was like, I have to control this chaos and like fix it. So long story short, I sunk a lot of my energy into creating this product because I wanted to take my struggles and my successes and, pay it forward in a really meaningful way. And it was like, I couldn't not do it. I had to do it. And I won a small little business competition that, gave me some seed money to really like flesh this idea out. And every day for the past 2 years since that moment, I've taken actionable steps to bring this product to other people. So you're all probably wondering, what is this product? I'm hyping it up so much, but so as an agent, I realized that not only I needed, but the agents around me really needed a way to connect with other agents. And that was the whole premise of the app. It's really a marketplace and a network in one app. So usually we're used to having like single-use platforms, like Uber is a single-use platform. You just create one transaction in it between 2 people. LinkedIn is a network where you're networking with other people. So Unlockdbox is kind of a marriage of the two. So it's a network and a marketplace. So you can it facilitates work between agents. So if you need help unlocking a home, another agent can come out and unlock the home for you. And this goes beyond just like showings, right? If you need to meet the inspector, if you need the door unlocked for the inspector and you can't make it, you can send another agent out there to go unlock the property. You pay them $30. And then, it's a win-win for both the busy agent and the new agent. And, we've seen so many use cases where, my idea with this was, if you have a client that you can't make a showing to, you can use Unlockbox, but it's expanding so much bigger than that. Like even opening the door for, the photographer, right? Just anytime you need to get out to a property that you couldn't necessarily make it, you can have another agent do that job for you. So that's one like use case of the app. The other use case of the app is setting open houses for other agents. So this is where I found the most success, was reaching out to agents in my brokerage, reaching out to agents in my farm area saying, hey, can I sit your open? This is what I'll bring to your listing. I really wanted to meet potential buyers. And this part's totally free within the app. So you can request other agents to sit opens. You can sit opens for other agents. It's just like that smart collaboration between agents going on. And then we have like a networking portion of the app where you can connect with other agents. You can follow them. You can like them. You can chat with them. You can see their past like reviews. And it's just a way to really build your reputation as an agent, especially when you're starting out. It's such a saturated market of agents, and so many new people are coming into the field as well, that if you're not in your brokerage office meetings, you really lack that connection. And I wanted to bring that into like the digital world. And, I wasn't always able to make my brokerage meetings. I had 2 kids, and the meetings were at not convenient times for me. And so it's like I was missing out on some of that connection, right? And you could frame that, oh, that's my fault. I'm not, taking the time to um, delegate my tasks. But that's the reality for a lot of people, right? A lot of agents in this industry. And so I wanted to bring it, into the 21st century where you can connect with other agents. And, that's not just in this one time slot. You can connect with them any time, cross brokerage. And then we have this really cool vendor marketplace that we're currently building out. So real estate related vendors, title, loan, notaries, home inspectors, anything to do, lead generation, anything, closing gifts, like anything that a real estate agent would need to build their team around a transaction, you can meet those vendors in the app. And you can also say, hey, as a thank you to like your title rep, hey, look at Unlockdbox. It's a way for you to grow your business. And so it's like this ecosystem of agents and vendors that are like really working together and collaborating. And so that's Unlockbox. It's not a single. I can't just explain it in one word because it's
Right.
so vast, and it's just like a marketplace for agents to come to really like be more effective at their jobs.
Right. Well, I really think that, just like the initial kind of premise on the whole trying to find somebody to help you just unlock the door to, let the photographer in or to help, with a showing or something like that. I think that's a really, I think every agent has dealt with that. And especially, like yourself, I have 2 young kids and we're constantly doing things. And, I can't tell you how many times I've got a baseball game on the schedule, but at 3:00 that afternoon, all of a sudden a meeting or something pops up where it's an urgent, I have to do this. And now I have to juggle, get to the baseball game or, go take care of this work related issue. And now having that, with Unlockbox, having that ability to almost farm that out and find somebody to, help you. I mean, that's a fantastic idea.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's, for those busy agents that are really, time is money. And especially for the really busy agents that have a lot of work to do, they can afford to delegate those tasks out. And it's a great way for new agents to get their feet wet, to make some money, make that car payment, just like, and we're real, right? Like this is what we're really, this is the nitty gritty of just like getting into a new career. And I found that when I viewed the agent next to me as the competition, I lost out. But when I viewed them as a collaboration, then we both won. And so that's like, I believe that the future of the industry, there's so many, right? If you talk about the big picture of the industry, there's a lot of programs, a lot of big technology that's coming in trying to cut the agent out. It's not new, but it's definitely the way that it's like, seems like technology is headed, this big tech. And so it was really important for me to build something to kind of combat that and say, hey, here's a tool so that you can show up in like these everyday life situations, and also this bigger picture of like, now you can, if you can't make it out to your property, you have a team of agents that will be out there on demand for you. So that's what you give to your clients, right? And so you're really now becoming an on-demand agent. And because you're using your network of other people that you trust. And so a really cool thing is you can filter out jobs and just send them to agents in your brokerage. You can filter out jobs and just send them to agents in your network that you've built within the app. So there's some really cool customizable pieces in the app that I'm like, I know the nitty gritty of what it means to be an agent. And so I really put those little like gems in the app. And so I'm just excited to get this out into the world. And I'm just passionate. I'm really passionate about it.
Right. Well, I think, what you said there about, these technologies and these different products that are coming out there that are trying to cut out the agent. And I think I think because agents have always, I think they've always played, those technologies have played into that competition between agents. And, by building up that collaboration and building that community, you guys are able to kind of almost fight back against the collaboration and show why it's so important to actually have, a real estate agent take care of your your property and what those personal connections, can do for the home sales. I think that's just really smart and cool. I think it's a really cool idea, building that whole ecosystem that,
Thank you.
that you've done.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
yeah, well, and what you said there about, helping out the newer agents just get their feet wet, because I can't tell you how many people, almost everybody I talk to, they always say the first thing I did when I was getting started was going and sitting in open houses. And if a new agent isn't working for a larger brokerage that has, a lot of people that are holding open houses, they might not have that opportunity to go do that all the time. But with this, you're opening up a whole different world to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're speaking to like that cross brokerage connection.
Mm-hmm.
And even when we step back a moment and we even just do it in the same brokerage, it's really an outdated way of doing it. It's blast emails. It's, if you're in the office meetings, like it doesn't exist in a way that's like at your fingertips where you can just connect, where it's just taken care of for you. You put the request out and other people apply to you, as the listing agent. So like, I looked at that system because I was really doing it. I was texting agents. I was calling agents. I was doing anything I could to connect with agents. And I was like, I was looking around and I'm like, this is really outdated, like kind of archaic. I felt like I was, being transported back. And so like, there's just a lot of space right now. And especially between the agents to be able to really make a meaningful impact. And, never in a million years did I think I would be sitting here saying I developed a tech product. Like, it still blows my mind sometimes that these words come out of my mouth, but like, it all comes back to like, I really want to create more opportunities for people. And I want to not only create opportunities for people to get into real estate, those people thinking about, hey, how am I going to make the transition into real estate? But once you're in real estate, really have more success while you're there, have more opportunities. And it drives everything that I do because, I really live the struggle of that. And I want people not to have to go through that as much as I did. So it's kind of my way of paying it forward and paving the way for kind of this new way of connecting with agents.
Right. It's, it's just interesting, all the different aspects of this platform that you have. It's almost like taking, part of a kind of like a Fiverr.com, like that, the freelance work, but then also, with the vendors like the Angie's list. So you're taking all of these different things that have been around and you're putting it in one place for people to really use. I think that's really cool.
Thank you. That's the whole idea, is really to create this, there's like, you can call it a network marketplace, but it's kind of this new emerging thing that's happening. There's only a few businesses that have been able to like breach this gap of connecting the two and still have it be really meaningful for the agent, or like the center of that. And, even speaking to like the vendor marketplace, right? Like, I was a new agent thinking, where am I going to find these people? Like, just going to Google it or just going to ask some agents in my office, like, where am I going to find these people to take pictures to, and so it's just a really easy way to connect with those people. They're right there in the app that you're using and hanging out with. And
right.
What a great way for these vendors to be able to reach, some new clients.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Because I think, the whole, those vendor partnerships are so important for, not only the vendors themselves, but the agents. If you have this Rolodex of people that you're comfortable with working with, and that they're going to show up for you, and that's just it all ties back to, just building up that credibility and that reputation for yourself, because the last thing you want to do is recommend somebody that's going to bail on your client.
Yeah, absolutely. And, those referrals it's really self-driving, because you refer them, they refer you. And it's just like, I got business off of our loan officer. He would give us clients all the time that didn't have agents. And so it was a really great relationship that we had with him. And so I'm like, there has to be more. There has to be more than just like Facebook ads for these people, right? Like these typical ways of marketing for the everyday like loan officer, right? So I wanted there to be more. I wanted there to be better. And So I'm like, put my head down, learn this new world of technology, and just like try to do it. Just really try to do it for other people.
What's been the reaction to people that have, used and kind of gotten, an agent to go sit an open house or unlock a door for them, but then also, when you're approaching these vendors to get them on board, what's been that reaction like?
So the vendors are very excited. They're very excited to have a new space to be able that actually makes sense. Like they're just on a monthly subscription, so they can reach agents based on their service. So like an inspector is only going to want to reach agents in a certain amount of radius. But if you're a loan officer, you can service the whole entire state. So you have a different geographic reach as a vendor. And so there's different packages that coincide with that. And these cool features like being able to reach out to the agents directly, for the agents to reach the vendors. So they're very excited about having a new space to be able to just meet agents. And then the reaction from agents has been absolutely like phenomenal, which blows my mind because it's just like, it's really humbling at the end of the day. And, people saying like, it's better than having a full-time assistant, right? Like you can just use it when you need it. You don't have to hire someone full-time. You just use it when you need it. And so I think that part really works for agents. People have called us like the Uber of real estate. You said Angie's List, like it's right in line with like, having, it's like the gig work of other industries is kind of paving the way for the real estate agent industry to catch up with that. And, I think people are really appreciative of that because now they can go they're not missing out, right? They're not missing out on their lives. Their clients aren't missing out. Their other clients aren't missing out. So it's just like, when you get the concept and when you hear of it, they're just like, oh, why doesn't this exist like this for us type of thing. So that's what it's been really exciting. A lot of industry noise, like Inman called us a smart real estate side hustle, like, which was, girl's dream come true. Right. So it's been really exciting. It's been really, really exciting. And, we have partnerships with top EXP power brokers. And so it's just like Chuck and Angela Fazio out of Arizona. And, it fits the EXP model very nicely. It also fits other brokerages that are still brick and mortar. Like it just works. Like that's what people are saying. Like it just works. Like, so it's fun. It's really fun to be a part of.
Right. Well, and, coming, it's always hard to say post-pandemic because of the way things just kind of are, but it, coming out of the way things have been for the last 2 years, just having that ability to, we're all kind of gotten used to this virtual world, I feel like, and being able to, reach out to somebody and, it just set these meetings up. I think it's coming, like this whole network and this platform is coming at a great time to really kind of capitalize on that ability, that everybody's gotten more comfortable with I don't necessarily need to know you or have a relationship right out, have a long-term relationship with you to feel comfortable, having you open a house or show, or just do a showing for me. Right. And like you said, there are so many agents that have come on board in the last couple of years because the markets have been so crazy that, for them to be able to get their foot in their door and to really start building connections with more experienced agents, I think is super helpful.
Yeah, I think it's like 150,000 new people joined real estate in the last 2 years, which is mind boggling, but also like, how are we going to show up for those agents, those new agents? And, right now with the way the market is, like, if you don't get your client in there right away, you're going to miss out. And you sometimes get left feeling like I'm not doing a good enough job if I'm not meeting every single one of my clients' needs on their schedule. And so it's super imperative for agents to be able to show up for their clients. And, if you set that right off the gate with your clients, like, look, this is a wild market. I want to get you into the home. I'm also having other clients. I also have like, I have a life in a way, and say, I'm going to get you into that house as quickly as I can. If it's not me, it's going to be somebody I trust. And, you set up that expectations for your clients. Your clients will be happier. They're not going to be waiting on your schedule. And, you have a better opportunity to get your clients into that house. So yeah, I was a little worried because I started this idea before the pandemic, and I was a little worried. I'm like, everyone was worried, right? Like what's going to happen? I don't, and so I was just like, put my head down. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't know what the end result's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be like post pandemic, how long this is going to last, what it's even going to look like in between. But now, like, emerging out of this, I'm like, there's no better time for something like this, really, because it kind of like set the tone of collaboration. And yeah, I think once agents download it and they start to use it, they will really see the benefits in their business.
Right. And I like you just using that word collaboration. And a lot of people I've talked to over the last couple of months, and since we've been doing this podcast, they say it's been interesting and nice to see that the industry has changed to where it's not that competition. Like that, the agent next door is my absolute 100% competition. It, like you said earlier, if we all work together, we'll all benefit. And so it just has been an interesting couple of years and seeing that collaboration really kind of take hold and see that, the more we work together, the better, the reputation of agents overall is going to change in the public. And I think, your app and your platform is only helping that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And, it's free. At the end of it, it's free. Like, go use it. There's a lot of free stuff in it. Like, even if you don't want to use the unlocking part, you don't want to use the open house part, just to use it to connect with other agents, like build your reputation. That part's free. Go follow, go see who's in your area, start up conversations with them. You never know when you're going to be in a transaction with somebody. And, I think back, like if I was a new agent, would I use this? Yeah. If I was a busy agent, would I use this? Absolutely, I would use it. But there may be more hesitations for those busier agents that have been in the industry longer. But then I think when you start to use it, when you get over that threshold of new technology entering, and you realize, like, this is built by somebody who was an agent and not this like big technology coming in, right? And so then you start to trust it, and you can build your own teams. You connect with people that you trust, and there's contracts between the agents, right? There's smart contracts. And so, like, it's when you stop to think and you're a busy agent, you're like, you're already doing this. You're already delegating open houses. You're already asking somebody to unlock the property if you're on vacation. Like, you're already doing this, and you're not doing it with contracts. I guarantee you're not doing it with contracts right now. And so now we added that, that safety there. So it's a better way to do what we're already doing and take it to a next level.
Right. Well, and for those busy agents, I mean, just your story, yourself, you came home and your kids were already asleep. Like, like all these agents that have, they're super busy at work, but then they have these crazy family lives, like that hits home to them. Like everybody is, has had that same experience. And I think, if they just see and understand how that can help, just with their family life too, like, hey, you know what, you can go do the things on the weekend. You don't have to go, show all these homes all over the place. There's a whole network of people out there willing to do it for you.
Exactly. Yeah, you said it perfectly.
Well, great. Well, tell me before we wrap up, where can people download Unlockbox?
The App Store and the Play Store. We're in both. It's free. Unlockbox, but drop the E. We gotta keep it cool and hip. So Unlockbox with no E, and it's free. You can check our website, unlockbox.com, if you have questions about how the app works. It's all answered on the app, on the website. We have Facebook, Instagram. Follow me. We put out some cool posts. So yeah, but it's in the app stores.
Awesome. And the great thing about this technology is that it's always updating and changing. There's always different, things you guys will be adding. So I think that's always cool.
Yeah. That's what, we live and breathe that. And we actually welcome that. Our head of sales is out of like the Bay Area. He's holding these lunch and learns with agents saying, hey, how can we make this better? What do you need? What do you really need? because I have my perspective, I have the perspective of agents around me, but I really want to hear feedback from everybody. And we have the ability to like make those tweaks in the app. So hit me with your ideas, and I'd love to like integrate it into Unlockbox where and how we can. So yeah, we love feedback. We welcome it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I want to thank Rachel for joining us today, and I think this is an amazing tool that is desperately needed in today's industry. Now remember, in the episode description, you'll find links to download Unlockdbox and check out all of their social media. So once again, if you think you or someone else on your team has an awesome story or tip to share with our community, send us a message at feedback@smartagents.com. Well, that wraps things up for this episode, but remember, follow the show wherever you listen to podcasts and make sure to subscribe to the Smart Agents YouTube channel. Again, I'm Michael Walter, and we'll see you on the next episode.